exploring.
Something good here, I hope.
Is there nothing on them? That. Yeah, we're just exploring, make sure I
Smoke.
find everything.
Something's burning.
Joaquin's Rest. Dead Drow Raider.
He of the unsleeping eyes, grant me the might to carry this burden. Grant me the faith to face darkness without fear.
My condolences to you.
He should never have been here in the first place. I'm the one that talked him into joining the Fist.
What the hell's happened here?
A massacre. Drow and goblins slaughtered the lot. Please, just leave me be.
I hear shouting. Someone needs help.
Seen this in the trailers.
Grand Duke Ravengard could be inside. Don't just stand there. Push!
Grand Duke Ravengard.
Yes! The hero of Baldur's Gate!
He could be trapped! Help us get through!
What happened to this place?
Your kind happened. Unless you're here to finish the job, get over here and push! Inside, hurry! We don't have much time.
Hello! We hear you! Stay where you are!
We don't have much time! Find out!
Help!
Oh my god. Fingers are off. Helped her.
The heat coming off that door. Opening it could spell trouble.
Making me sweat. Come on, Karlak. Show them who you are.
Help!
At least things have stayed interesting.
Come! I'm afraid proper thanks must wait.
Another step forward.
fashion. Fresh air. At last. Your boldness is a blessing. I'm in your debt.
Counselor, are you all right?
It takes more than mere fire to break me, Yuva. Now listen close, Fist. Duty calls. Drow have taken Grand Duke Alder Ravengard westward, if my eyes and ears can be believed. Gauntlet, report to the man and send for reinforcements. We must find the Duke.
On your command, Counselor.
The rest of you, count the dead. Take word of their sacrifice to this city. And you, I must ask again for your aid. Please, rescue Ravengard from his Drow captors. The Council will reward you for your effort. May I trust you'll see it through?
Why entrust this to me? You have others at your command.
By the time aid arrives, it might be too late. You've the heart of a dragon and the will of a hero. Tell me I can count on you.
The Absolute's cult is based at Moonrise Towers. That's where they'll have taken the Duke.
Moonrise Towers, along the old road. That place is cursed. Few could survive there, unless darker forces are at work. This was no random attack. The Grand Duke was their target.
I'll head west and find Duke Ravengard.
Thank you. And should your courage falter, remember the Duke's generosity. Approach the towers with care. The land itself has been swallowed in shadow. I will seek reinforcements and join you when I can. Fist, to work.
May the gods take you first.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Can anyone hear me? Please!
I hear you, but I don't know where you're at.
Was it done?
Lost is trapped. Up here. It's over here. Where are you?
Soldier. The hammer's gonna fall.
My God, help me. Allow us peace in this plane and beyond. Teach us care when we would be reckless. Teach us certainty when we would have doubt.
can't move.
There he
Someone help!
is.
The fire! Hurry! Get this thing off me! Yes! You did it! Thank you. Thank you.
What's I had to turn this?
Action, not reaction.
Slaughtered everyone. Mary. Oh, Mary. Mary.
Let's have a look.
Right. Now let's look at the map, see what I got going on. Come on. Oh.
Let us have words.
Mary. No. Gods, no, no, no. You should have stayed. You should have been with me.
How did you two get separated?
I was in our room. We had a fight. If I just kept my mouth shut about that bloody dowry, she'd still be here.
This isn't on you. There's no way you could have known.
I'm sorry, Mary. I'm so sorry. Please, just go. I need a moment with her.
All right, what now? Very well.
Mary. No. Gods, no, no, no. You should have stayed. You should have been with me.
It wouldn't have made a difference.
She would have survived. If only I'd kept my mouth shut about that bloody dowry. What am I gonna do? She's all I had.
What was that about a dowry?
It's for a sister's wedding. I made a stupid joke about keeping it. We argued about it for hours. Then she took the dowry and left. She said I'd never see her again. She was right.
There's no way you could have known.
I'm sorry, Mary. I'm so sorry. Please, just go. I need a moment with her.
Keep your hands to yourself. You're being watched.
I'll come back later, get the dowry.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
Let's do. You in a better mood now?
I promise my shield and my sword, Vigilant One. Let them be my courage.
Alright, now we're gonna go.
God helm. Allow us peace in this.
Try to find the kinky. Oh. How much more of this was there? Come back.
Can't give up now.
That didn't do very well. You know what? I'm gonna do a short rest. No. Man, I really wish I could do. Did she learn that spell?
Great God helm.
My faith will guide me.
Peace in this plane and beyond. Teach us care when we would be reckless. Teach us certainty when we would have doubt. So it is spoken, and so is it done.
We'll come back.
I must keep going.
A dragon rider, by kin and near.
Damn thing could blot out the sun.
It would be too much to hope that's nothing to do with us, wouldn't it?
That thing could swallow us in a gulp.
It would be too much to hope that's nothing to do with us, wouldn't it?
That thing. Hey, soldier. You said you might try cooling me down. Any leads?
Let me try something.
Yes!
have to keep going.
Looking at something?
How did you know I was here?
The only benefit to a mirror when you have my condition. It doesn't quite make up for the lack of a reflection, mind you.
You miss it, seeing your own face?
Preening in the looking glass. Petty vanity. Of course I miss it. I've never even seen this face. Not since it grew fangs and my eyes turned red.
It's for the best. You're not exactly aging gracefully.
Aging? What do you mean, aging? I'm a vampire. Forever young.
I'm kidding. You look great.
Really? Anything in particular?
That dangerous smile.
Very good. Now just tell me I'm beautiful and we can call it a day.
Karlach is beautiful. You're fine, though.
How dare you? I thought we had something special. Still, you're nice too. I better get some beauty sleep. It seems I need it if I'm to catch up with the competition.
I want to have a word.
Will's brows furrow as your minds connect. He sees the burning embers of Joaquin's rest, then Floric's face as she tells you of Ravengard's abduction.
Hells! Older Ravengard's been taken.
Yes, Joss had part of the inn and stole away the Duke.
Then we need to seek him out and get him to safety. You see, Grand Duke Ravengard is my father. I know I haven't said. Our relation was no matter of pride, not least for him.
Aren't you worried your father's been abducted?
More than worried, in truth. What makes a Duke of Baldur's Gate so interesting to the Drow? Even the houses of Men's Oberanzen would have little use for my father. No, this is no Drow plot. These absolute nutters, these true souls are behind his abduction. His absence alone will sow chaos in the city. If they were to infect him, he could lead Baldur's Gate to ruin. All the more reason to find him. The Absolute has seized not just my father, but the future of the Sword Coast.
Let's talk about something else.
I'm all for it.
What was it like being the son of a Grand Duke?
Not so enchanting as you'd think. The Portiers, the Caldwells, they were the blue bloods hosting the fancy balls and drinking from gold goblets. Father's the son of a blacksmith, born with barely a coin in the coffers. He made a name for himself among the Flaming Fist, brave as Baldur, stubborn as a deep Rothay, daring, outspoken, but hardly posh. I spent more time dueling with Father than I did rubbing elbows with lords. Not to say I didn't develop a taste for good wine and the talent for courtly dance.
And now you're the Blade of Frontiers. Quite a change, don't you think?
Yes and no. Father taught me the 4 pillars of power. Courage, insight, strategy, justice. He reckoned I'd follow in his footsteps. First as a fist marshal, then as a duke. Vanquish evil, maintain order, save the world. But a duke makes bedfellows with more monsters than he slays. Father called it diplomacy. I called it hypocrisy. In the frontiers, there is no posturing, no diplomacy. I slay monsters, I don't consort with them. Even if I might look like one.
How does it feel to be a devil?
It's said that anyone who bathes in the river of blood emerges as one born anew. It's a lot like that, I imagine. I feel the weight of these horns on my head, curling upwards like a mammoth's tusks. I feel these ridges snaking down my neck, not to mention a few bumps and prongs in unmentionable places. But I haven't seen my reflection just yet. Be my mirror. What do you see?
See the Blade of Frontiers, no more, no less.
It's because you know the heart lurking under the horns. The people will see a curiosity, maybe even a beast hungry for their souls. But I will slay their monsters, keep them safe, and one day they will see the Blade of Frontiers again.
What do you make of Raphael?
He brings to mind a story. The Devil with the Silver Tongue. An old fairy tale my father read to me. The kind with a hero, a villain, and a moral. A farmer made a deal with the devil, so the story goes. In exchange for the farmer's dearest fruit, the devil granted him a bottomless coin purse. The farmer's dearest fruit, naturally, was no apple nor peach, but his beloved daughter. We can learn a lot from fairy tales, don't you think?
With the right teacher, yes. What are your thoughts on the devil?
Refuse him, no matter how tempting the offer, no matter how delicious the feast he lays out for you. The cost will be too great.
Refuse him like we refused Mizora? Only you didn't, did you?
I didn't, and I couldn't. My soul was a necessary price to pay for... You know I can't say more, but I can say this. I had but one road I could travel. For now, you have a dozen, 100, 1,000 to choose from. A road that leads to a devil is the very last one you should follow.
Tell me, Will, how did you come to Blade of Frontiers?
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. After my exile, I was hunting near the Cloakwood. I heard a child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after.
Whatever became of the boy, I wonder.
I left him with his uncles. 5 years on, and he's flourishing. If only every child was so lucky. I've mourned the ones I could never save, whose cries I never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded.
Is that how you lost your eye in the goblin battle?
It was an even bloodier day, and a stronger foe. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
You should get out of this pact.
A possibility that's kept me awake countless nights. But I don't have a clue where to start, other than play her games and play by the rules. That's the only language devils listen to.
There must be some loophole in the contract to let you out.
There could well be. She has the blighted thing. What I know of it is simply what has engraved itself upon my memory. My contract is very clear. I can bring Mizora no harm. She'll have to let me out of my pact willingly. The only way out is if I can out-bargain her. We're standing here with nothing but the clothes on our backs and the worms in our heads.
I just fear what she will do to us next.
I'm so sorry to give you another reason to sleep restlessly, but it's my burden to bear. She won't touch you unless there's something there for her to take. Don't give her so much as an inkling there might be.
I'll have to speak slowly. I'm finding it quite difficult to concentrate with my condition gnawing at my insides like a teething displacer kitten.
Never realized it was so easy to cast magic.
I assure you it's not. Don't get me wrong, you did well. The somatic component, the verbal component, even the focus on the inner self that invites Mystra in. But I was still your conduit. To perform such a feat alone requires much and arduous study. Yet it is life's most worthy pursuit in my impartial, if not humble opinion.
You have a magical artifact you'd be interested in.
That is most gratifying to hear. May I? Thank you. Good gods. It hardly has any effect. Oh, Mystra, have mercy on us all. Listen, I need to speak to you, to all of you. It would be unconscionable of me to remain silent.
Go on, you're among friends.
I might just be about to remedy that. You have to know who I was. You have to know who I really am. What I am is a walking shadow of the promise I once held. I'm what one might call a wizard prodigy. And from an early age could not only control the weave, but compose it. Much like a musician or a poet. Such was my skill that it earned me the attention of the mother of magic herself. The Lady of Mysteries. The goddess Mystra. She revealed herself to me and she became my teacher. In time she became my muse. And later even my lover.
You tell me you made love to a goddess?
Oh yes. We enjoyed each other's company. Body, mind, and soul. But even so, I desired more. You see, no matter how powerful a wizard we mortals can become, we never scratch more than the surface of the weave. Mystra keeps us in check. There are boundaries she doesn't let us cross. Yet, every time I was with her, I stood on the precipice, gazing into the wonders that lay beyond. I sought to cross her boundaries.
How exactly did you try to cross those boundaries?
I tried to convince her. I pouted. I pleaded. swore my ambition was only to serve her better. She only smiled and told me to be contented. Inconceivable as it seems to me now, I shared a bed with a goddess, yet I wasn't satisfied. So I sought to prove myself worthy to her instead. We come now to the crux of my folly. Shall I share the story behind it, or would you rather head straight to its sordid finale?
I'm intrigued. Tell me all.
Very well. Here goes. Once upon a very long time ago, a mighty lord lived in a tower. A flying tower, to be precise. I'll save his history for another time, but the gist of it is that he sought to usurp the goddess of magic so that he could become a god himself. He almost managed, but not quite. His entire empire, Netheril, came crashing down around him as he turned to stone. The magic that was unleashed that day was phenomenal. Roiling like the prime chaos that outdates creation. Even the weave itself could not withstand the onslaught. It fractured, then shattered, and all magic was lost to the mortal realms, until the day Mystra returned. She restored the weave, reuniting all its scattered shards. Or so I thought. Until, in the course of my studies, I learned of a book. A Netherese tome in which a piece of the fractured weave had been sealed beyond her reach. What if, I thought, what if, after all this time, I could return this lost part of herself to the goddess?
And what was the answer to that question?
The answer was to try. The outcome was to fail. I was certain that this deed of raw power, draped in romance, would convince Mystra to take me by the hand and welcome me into her hitherto forbidden domains. I was mistaken. I obtained the fabled book and took it into my study. As for what happened next... Here. Place your hand over my heart. Let me show you.
You feel the tadpole quiver as you realize Gale is letting you into the dark. You see through Gale's eyes, staring down the corridors of a dread memory. The book bound, then suddenly opened. Inside there are no pages, only a swirling mass of blackest weave that pounces. Its teeth, its claws, it's unstoppable as it digs through and becomes part of you. And gods, is it ever hungry.
How are you still alive?
Thankfully, the moment I absorbed the fragment wasn't enough to kill me outright. It was only the beginning. This Netherese blight, this orb, for lack of a better word, is balled up inside my chest. And it needs to be fed. As long as I absorb traces of the weave from potent enough sources, it remains quiet. Were it ever to fully destabilize, however.
You'll die.
Rather worse, actually. I will erupt. I don't know the exact magnitude of the eruption, but given my studies of Netherese magic, I'd say even a fragment as small as the one I carry, it'd level a city the size of Waterdeep.
Is there nothing we can do?
We might chance upon a king's collection of magical artifacts around the corner. We might cross paths with a miracle round the bend. Then again, we might not. All of this, it must feel like a betrayal. Say the word, and we'll part ways.
care too much about you to abandon you now, Gale. We
That
travel
is
on together.
a great relief. Oh, a great relief indeed. You truly are a soul that steals my own. From all my new rallied heart, I thank you. I thank you all. I understand if you stand against me. I'm humbled if you stand with me. Either way, I will do my best not to let you down. I stand at a precipice, but if you do not give up hope, neither shall I. I'll fight. I'll resist as long as I can. Now, even I am tired of the sound of my own voice. Let us venture forth.
I don't think there'll be any more trouble between Lae'zel and I, if you were wondering. We can all sleep easier now. Well, apart from all the rest.
That's good. I'd rather keep friendly between all of us.
You have an interesting definition of friendly, but yes.
Well, you seemed intrigued when Halsin mentioned Dark Justicars before.
I was. He mentioned Dark Justiciars, and we've come across other signs of a Sharan presence during our travels. I'm not sure I can dismiss that as a coincidence.
That artifact seems to be protecting us somehow. Do you still have it?
Quite the understatement, but yes, I have it. And I'll guard it with my life.
It's curious that you just happen to have an item that can protect us. How did you come by it?
I was part of a group sent by my cloister. We were to take the artifact from the Githyanki and bring it to Baldur's Gate, no matter the cost. Though it turned out the cost was very steep. I was the only one of the group to survive. I took the artifact and fled, only to be ensnared by mind flayers before I could finish the mission. That's all I know. That's all I need to know.
How can you go to all this trouble and not understand why?
I told you already. I surrendered my memories for the sake of the mission. Shah's secrets must be protected. Duty demands it. Once I fulfill my mission, I can have my memories restored. How cynical. I should borrow that line sometime. But if I have to die, so be it. Like I said, faith.
I want to get to know you more, Shadowheart.
You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask?
What drew you to Shar worship?
She took me in when no one else would. Without her, I wouldn't be alive. She's my mother. She nurtures me, cares for me, loves me. Don't believe the lies the Selûnites tell.
Tell me something about yourself besides Shar, besides tadpoles.
What? Besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant?
That's exactly it. Anything else you'd care to share?
No, I can't. Quite literally, I mean. With my memories suppressed, I can't betray Shah's secrets. But I can't remember much of myself either. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shah's mission, then my memories will be restored.
You've had your memory suppressed? That seems extreme.
Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shah will reward me when I succeed.
Why were you in pain before?
The wound on my hand. It never quite heals. And sometimes it causes terrible pain to rip through me. It's my burden, though, from Lady Shah. I can feel her influence somehow.
Why would Shar subject you to such a thing?
I cannot say. Not with what I can recall. But even then, it would not be for me to question her will. Lady Shah has her reasons.
Is there anything I could do to help with it?
I don't think so, but you're sweet to ask. Maybe just be patient the next time you see me wince or cry out. It'll pass quickly enough. It always does. Pain is sacred to followers of Lady Shah. Pain will give way to loss and then to the peace of her eternal darkness. You can tolerate a great deal of suffering so long as it has meaning.
What causes it to hurt you?
It's difficult to say. Sometimes I wonder if it's supposed to be guiding me, punishing me, testing me. But perhaps it's none of those. Perhaps it's completely random. I'd like to hope there's more to it than that. Some meaning that Lady Shah will reveal to me when the time is right. Until then, all I can do is endure.
You knew more than you were letting on before. I hope you'll be more honest in the future.
I'll try my best. But secrecy is ingrained in me. Lady Shah considers it greater protection than any shield or armor.
Speak.
What's your quarrel with Shadowheart?
It is over where I am concerned.
That's a relief. We won't survive this if we don't stand together.
It is through conflict that we strengthen our bonds. Yet I do not recommend Shadowheart seek it again. The next resolution may not end in her favor.
You know what happens if we don't find a cure?
Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out, and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born.
That's not going to happen. We will find a cure.
Words forged in steel. May your actions express the same metal. We must find my kind and be rid of the parasite. It's as simple as that. The first symptoms should have long since started, though. That is what puzzles me.
You heard we haven't changed? This is good news.
Yes, if you give it no further thought. But anomalies lead to surprises. Bad surprises. Besides, what hasn't happened may yet come to pass.
Is it me, or have you been looking at me differently?
I hadn't thought myself so transparent. Well, you'd be a succulent meal. I would like to have gorged. But you've been prodded and picked over like a suckling boar. I prefer fresher meat.
Well. Alright. Go rest up.
Food, hungry.
I have food. Would you like it?
Want bite?
Go ahead, eat.
Food. Eat more.
Careful. Once that thing's eaten through the camp, it might start looking at you hungrily.
No. Run.
I'm not chasing after it, if that's what you're thinking.
Alright. No exclamation points. Alright. Let's head on out.
Look where city be planted.
There's something I want to talk to you about. Something important.
Well, now I'm intrigued. Do continue.
I could have died in that pod, back on the Nautiloid. You could have died, spending precious moments trying to free me, but you did it anyway. I owe you my life. Twice over, in fact. You supported me against Lae'zel. I may not have survived that night without you. I'm trying to say that you've earned my trust in a way very few ever have. I want that to mean something. I want you to know more about me, at least from what I can remember. As long as I've prayed to Lady Shah, I've wished to serve her as a Dark Justiciar. There is scarcely a greater way to fully dedicate yourself to Lady Shah, save perhaps if you become the head of her church. To become a Dark Justiciar is to become the Night Singer's sword arm, her implement with which she will cast down the unbelievers and win the final battle to restore her perfect, endless darkness. It's all I ever wanted. I prayed it was my calling. But Mother forbid me from seeking to prove myself worthy of the rank. She said I was not ready. Not my mother, I should add. The Mother Superior, head of Lady Shah's enclave in Baldur's Gate. Sometimes I wonder if she would ever deem me ready. I owe her everything, and I only wish to serve, yet she can prove inscrutable.
Thank you for sharing. Let's talk about your Shah worship.
I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely.
My apologies, I didn't mean to pry.
Fine. Just keep out of matters that don't concern you.
I have no problem with Shar worshippers if that's what concerns you.
Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shar, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her?
Remind me.
My Lady Shar is the Night Singer, the patron of darkness and loss.
Fascinating. Please continue.
Most fear the dark, like children, because in darkness they see their fears reflected. But Shar teaches us to step beyond fear, beyond loss. In darkness, we do not hide. We act. Pain, hope, the promise of better days. All of these are heavy cloaks that bend our backs and burden our hearts. We shed those cloaks. Before Shar, we stand gloriously naked, beyond the vanities of mortals.
When you put it like that, it seems strangely comforting.
There's comfort, yes. But often there has to be pain beforehand. We tear down the lies the world is drunk on. The institutions they trust, the so-called gods they worship, the lives they cling to. We destroy false idols, topple corrupt organizations, fight heretics wherever they're found. There's often suffering, death even. Many people break before they embrace Shar's truths.
I'd be lying if I said it didn't sound convincing. You should tell me more sometime.
You're wiser than most. Many people balk at our doctrine. It's the reason why we cherish secrecy. You've a habit of saying all the right things. Either you're very glib or we're kindred spirits. Maybe both, knowing myself. But yes, once we've saved ourselves, we can talk more on this.
All right.
Time to press ahead. I need a quick word.
What are you doing? Hold up before they see you, Gresham! Look, down there. That lot are swarming all over the bridge. I don't know what they want, but it can't be good. I'm going to find another way around. You ought to do the same. Unless you're looking for a fight, that is.
Who are you?
Nobody. Just another harassing fool trying to stay alive. There's plenty of us around.
Seems you have good survival instincts. Maybe you should join me instead.
What? Just follow you around? I go my own way. Alone.
Alright.
Rag. That's it. I'm getting out of here.
No traps, please.
Drop your weapons!
I'll feed your innards to the ants before I do that, Istik.
This is your last chance!
No, look up. That was your last chance, Istik. Now burn!
Stop wasting time, Beretta. You're not here to play with the locals.
Of course, Kithrak. We merely sought to...
No excuses. Question, kill, then move on. Find the weapon. Our queen watches us. Fail her at your peril.
A red dragon. I envy its knight. Would that I rode such a steed. A crash must be near. Come, my kin await.
We'll just pat the dragon on the head, I suppose.
The dragons serve Githyanki. I'll see it does you no harm. Follow me. We are close to the cure we seek. Ryder, my time is short. Lead me to...
Shh. Such a familiar tone. Were I not merciful, I would slice the skin clean from your meat. Yet you are not bleeding. For I am nothing if not merciful. Your name, child.
Lae'zel.
Lae'zel.
Lae'zel. Proud. Regal, even. You will call me Gestil Kithrak.
Voss, Knight Supreme. The Queen's silver, the Queen's sword.
I am who you say. A Geich vessel has fallen from the sky, Lae'zel. Thieves aboard have taken a weapon most precious. It is polyhedric in shape and inscribed with the sacred runes of our people.
You feel Shadowheart's anxiety. The weapon that Voss seeks is the same one the Absolute's followers are hunting. It's the artifact that she carries. Her mind focuses. The Gith's suspicions cannot be aroused. They cannot discover that the weapon they seek is right within their grasp.
Take word to your creche. You are to join our search. Speak up, child. Affirm your mandate.
You honor me with this duty, Kithrak. I shall alert my caretaker with haste.
The Kithrak nods, content with Lae'zel's answer.
You serve your queen well, child. Take your slaves and hunt those who escaped the Geich ship. They must carry the weapon.
I fly now to Vlaakith, our undying queen. She will see your faith rewarded in this plane and ours.
A current of deception carries Voss's words. Wherever he flies, it is not to Vlaakith.
To Danos! To the sky!
Rest.
Damn it all! You did well to intervene, vexed as I am to admit it. The Gestil Kithrak would have flayed our skin and left our carcasses to burn in the sun. All for the sake of the artifact that we carry. The creche is near, this much we know. We follow the path forward and into the valley. No one, not even the ignoble Gestil Kithrak, will keep me from my purification.
One day I'll catch a break.
What a charmer.
Alright. So now... So much to do. We're actually going to stop here for now. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoying it. If you do, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe. All that good stuff means that helps the channel grow, and I do appreciate it. Until next time, love you guys. Hope to see you again soon. Take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye for now.